also here with my co-authors, April Mitchell and Mitch Trott. And so my background is in web services and social technology. So we were given a challenge to create a social technology project using streaming video that required telecommunications components. So this is based on our experience. Google groups and Yahoo groups tend to be about tend to be about private community. So not so much posting messages for the whole world to see, but more about posting messages to people that you know. And one of the observations we made from that was that video, although still popular, is still confusing to people. It's done purely in video. And it may sound simple, or it may sound like a straightforward, reasonable thing to do, but there are some complexities we ran into I thought you'd be interested in hearing about. Experience on the web. You can see the orange icons are for subscribing with RSS, which I'll explain if you don't know what that is in a second. You can see there's also flash video on the web where you can play back the videos in your conversation. And here you can see this user is making a video phone call into the system so that he can watch through the videos in that conversation. And then he points the phone back at himself and records a response back into the system. Now we see April is browsing the website after Alex has posted a response, and she chooses the social group that she wants to read through. These are the conversation threads in that social group, and she can see that the most recent post was just recently made a few minutes ago, and she plays it back using flash video on the website. So you see the convergence between the mobile streaming and the website. Now what she can do, since we have multiple endpoints that we support in the system, is use the webcam on her laptop using a broadband connection and record. On the website, it's a fairly straightforward J2EE Java implementation, something you'd see in a lot of websites, like eBay uses this sort of architecture, and a number of others, as you know. The desktop interface, and I'll kind of go through the screen so you can see what they look like. This is what happens after they log in. You can see these are the groups that I belong to. I'm in lots of social groups. I'm a popular guy, I guess. And so on the left, you can see that the two look similar to each other. But on the right side, this is actually a group that are currently active. So if I want to, discuss with my friends about restaurants in Palo Alto, that's the thread that's active at the moment. So if I go into that thread, these are the videos that are in that thread. So I can, in the mobile experience, if I just click on the video, it downloads and then plays back. And so then I can turn the camera around on myself and record and upload a video back into this. Between the telco and the web world was one that we wanted to keep lightweight and simple, but we understand, especially from seeing so many of the presentations here at ICIN, that there are a number of options that we could have chosen. We went with the option that gave us the quickest speed and flexibility, but this link here was just a simple HTTP or SOAP. Of course, we could have chosen SOAP, and what that would have given us was better data marshaling, error handling. And the problem is, the theory, back in the 1940s and 50s was that the next generation of telephones would be video phones, right? And they didn't happen. Well, why not? It's sort of a social problem. The problem is that not everybody wants their face shown to somebody else. And so when you try to implement any good idea and do it with video, you run into this social problem of people not wanting their face shown. And so that's one of the problems that we're going to be exploring. We'll find out, since we're a research lab, we have the room to be able to test this out and say, well, okay, it failed or it succeeded. If you put the device in someone who's young, in the hands of somebody who's young, maybe the YouTube generation, no problem. They point at their face. Or people who are gregarious and outgoing, no problem. So this is a problem that we have to deal with. There's a lot of anonymity preserved in text. If you're just using a name, Q-tip is my login name. You can probably figure out I'm tall and skinny with a white head, right? So you can figure that preserves a lot of anonymity. You can browse through text conversations, and no one gives away their identity. In video, if you want people to be able to browse through your conversations and choose if they want to join your group, they're seeing your face, they're listening to your voice, and then they're deciding whether they want to join your group or not. So that presents a problem. And it also presents an opportunity for us in our video streaming team, is that we can transcode the video on the fly based on whether you're a member of the group or not, and cartoonize or blur or do something to the video and change the voice so that you can still see the nonverbal communication, my smile, my hand moving, and not miss the content. We weren't sure how this was going to go when we got into it, but what we realized after we created the system was that if you took away the web or you took away the mobile if you take away one of those pieces, it's not as good of a story. And so the two work well together. So we call this a success story.